You are listening to Business Heroine Radio for the entrepreneur who says she will and does. Join the Business Heroine community today at businessheroinemagazine.com. And now, tune into the show.
Welcome, I'm Ann Perry, founder of Business Heroine, and I'm so excited to introduce you to our beautiful August cover girl today, Jade Beall. Jade is a proud mother and Tucson, Arizona-based world-renowned photographer, specializing in truthful images of women to inspire feeling irreplaceably beautiful as a counterbalance to the airbrushed, photoshopped imagery that dominates mainstream media. Her work, A Beautiful Body Project, has touched hundreds of thousands of women's lives and garnered global attention from media outlets including BBC, the Huffington Post, and way too many to name. Jade's book series and media platform feature untouched photos of women alongside their stories of their journeys to build self-esteem in a world that thrives off of women feeling insecure. Jade's dream is to inspire future generations of women to be free from the unnecessary self-suffering and embrace their beauty just as they are. And we are so fortunate to have her with us on the line right now. Hi, Jade.
Hi.
Yay! I'm so excited that you are here. And I have to share on a personal note that I have had the wonderful opportunity to be photographed by Jade, and we've had her at a Business Heroine retreat in Mexico, taking photos of our gorgeous business heroines, and so it's just a pleasure on so many levels to have this conversation today.
I'm so honored that I've had the opportunity to photograph you, Anne. That's pretty rad.
It was really rad. And, the thing is with Jade and her work, is it's really a healing process. And I want to dive more into that. But I have never enjoyed being photographed, and I had so much fun with you. So, yeah.
Mutual.
Aw. So tell us, Jade, your story. Like, how did you end up doing what you do, photographing women in this untouched, beautiful way, and the, mothers, women of all shapes and sizes? Tell us this journey.
It's definitely not an easy one. I picked one that has a lot of resistance. I have to replenish often to keep going because it's not normal. And the non-normal thing is there's a lot of resistance, but also there's a lot of intrigue, curiosity, and support.
Mm-hmm.
So it all started in 1997 in Tucson High School. I was a complete photo nerd. And I fell in love with studio photography and photographing my girlfriends. And pretty much just nudes and just really beautiful, like exploring the shapes of the body. And we won tons of awards in high school, and we thought we were so cool. And,
And you were.
And we were. And that kind of just progressed. But then I graduated, and I didn't go to college. Instead, I started traveling to Central America with my camera and decided to go to massage school instead. But I kept photographing, but I learned this other relationship with the body. And then I started missing photography when I was about 25, and I started photographing my friends, dancers, yogis, anyone who would allow me to explore their body in a beautiful nude portrait. Mm-hmm. And it just kept going, and more people asked me to do more and more. And I was a massage therapist at the time, and so I started doing both. Mm-hmm. And I would get asked to do weddings and all these, senior portraits, and I just knew I wasn't good at it. Right off the bat, I have no problem admitting what I am not good at. and partly also because it wasn't a passion.
Yeah.
I love wedding photography when it's done well, and I don't do it well. And so I was a little unsure that I could ever make a business with my photography. Who's going to want nude portraits? And I don't like photoshopping, and I never have. I love the diverse range of body types, but I met a problem in about 2010. It was my website. I was already blogging, and I was really honest in my blogging about my own abuse, sexual abuse, and my own road to self-love and having body shame since I was 10. And I was already exploring those topics through my blog and my very, very small following here in Tucson. And women were like, I love your photography, Jade. On your website, it's primarily really thin, athletic women. And you talk about like how you love all these bodies, but you don't see that in your portfolio.
Mm.
And I got really sad. I was like, you're right. And I was photographing all body types, but the only people who would allow me to post such images
Mm.
were those that we normally typically see.
Mm-hmm.
So I got pregnant and I love photographing pregnant women. And so I photographed myself extensively. But I noticed when I was pregnant, I was pretty obsessed with how much weight I was gaining. And, all my self-loathing of always worried that I was going to be too fat, really increased. But in my mind, I was like, I'm going to start running the day after I give birth. And I got running shoes like ready for that day. And I was so ready. And I gained 50 pounds and
Mm-hmm.
it didn't move at all. None of the weight moved. Only just like 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I got postpartum depression and it was a rough month. But in that first month, I realized all of a sudden, just one day, it dawned on me. I was like, "Hey, I have this varying body type that I could photograph and add to my website, so that I can prove that I love photographing all of these bodies." So I did, and I didn't. I was breastfeeding my son. There were nudes. You could tell, like, you could see the sadness in my eyes of just like trying to figure out this new motherhood. And so women really resonated with that photo, and it turned into a whole career.
Wow. That is so fascinating. So it's really, I haven't heard all those aspects to your story ever. So that's really interesting. So it started in high school with this just
Mhm.
sort of fascination slash passion.
Mhm.
Um, but it was also like there was always this theme of nude and the shape of women's bodies and
Absolutely.
all of that. And so that's just awesome, like how it all came full circle.
It really is, because that was, unless I could do what I want to do, I just, I would do it for my own pleasure, but I never saw how I could do it and actually support my family.
Yeah. So let's jump into that. And there's so many other, angles I want to look at this at, but tell us about the business side. Like, how is it that you support your family doing photography? And because you don't just take photos, there's other aspects to your business. And we have so many creative business heroines out there. And there's this whole starving artist myth or not myth, but syndrome, as you and I called it earlier. So give us a glimpse into your actual business, if you would be so
Absolutely.
kind. Yeah.
Like I said, I kind of stumbled into it, and I had been a self-employed massage therapist for nearly 15 years. So my work ethic was already really, I knew how to be self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to work hard and how to get myself out there, and I wasn't afraid to get myself out there. I'm not afraid to promote myself using social media and
Mm-hmm.
in a very genuine, like loving way. And
Mm-hmm.
so I already had that kind of background with massage. So I kind of stumbled into this like all these women like I want to be photographed and seen and
Mm.
and realized that I could make a book. Like that's all I was really going for. I was like, I want to make this book of all these mothers' bodies, of all of our stories, the bounce back body and the not and the severely changed body. And so that was all I was really as far as I could see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did the Kickstarter campaign and it went gangbusters and it was and it kept growing from there. So I was still like almost in a haze of like, wait, what? What? All these people want what? They want a book? And after I published the book, I realized that there's so many women just wanting to be seen, dying to be heard. And for a while, I was like, well, I'm not that great of a photographer and I'm self-taught primarily. Like, I'm not that great. I was like
Hmm.
trying to convince myself of how unworthy I was, which is part of the freedom from
Yeah.
starving artist syndrome
Yeah.
to actually, yes, I want to make a living with this and I can. Like
Yes.
that is huge, huge and real. And
Exactly with the skills I have and exactly with what I naturally do without having to be resume perfect or whatever. Just going for it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And um, also the a- as more and more women were reaching out, I realized I was doing massage less and less.
Mm.
And um, it, so I started doing. it just, like I said, it just kind of stumbled into my lap. But for me, it was reaching out to women. It was connecting through many forms. And one form is that I've been teaching West African inspired dance for
Mm-hmm.
about 10 years. And so that's always put me in a place in the community. So I get to meet women that I normally wouldn't meet all the time. And they see me getting all crazy and wild and weird. And they're like, wow, she must be so, she must have something going on that I could trust myself with her.
Yeah.
And so I've always been involved in the community that way. So I have that as well. So I was a massage therapist, good business ethic, but I also did this community class where I didn't get paid. I did it every week just because I needed to do it. And I wanted to meet and meet in a very vulnerable place for most women. Dancing can be really, really scary. So there was that community. And then, so all of that, I think, kind of gave me this credibility. That I'm committed to community. I have good business ethic, and I want you to feel seen. And I'm willing to share my vulnerability with you. Like, holy crap, what is this body? How did this body change? And why do I feel so disgusting? And why have I hated myself since I was 10 years old? And I think blogging too, like having blogged for the last, I guess, 7 years now, just on my own, just continually to put it out there. That again, gaining credibility. And now my business model is pretty much just trying to stay on top of things, from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., answering emails, to really focus on my one thing, which is this, what I like to call medicinal photography. How can I reach the most women possible? How can I attend workshops like your workshop, the in Mexico, and how can I connect with powerful women? And so I go to LA quite often and do like body love workshops / dance / photo sessions. And it's a combination of the passions, but it's all still the one thing. It's still the self-love piece, the like you're worthy to be seen, the understanding that life is intense and messy and beautiful. And I really, and for the first time in a long time, I'm giving myself credit that I engage in community a lot. And I ran a studio for 4 years here in Tucson to help other dancers and yogis have a place to practice. I just gave that up because I really wanted to, again, put my one thing focus into only photography. But I really love serving the community and being seen and known and being real.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my business model. And then I'm constantly looking for improvement. I'm constantly educating myself on how to light better and how to be a more epic photographer while also nurturing my therapeutic side. Like, how can I be a better therapist? How can I make women facilitate what they truly need in a photo shoot so that they can use these photos as a tool for self-love?
Wow. I love listening to you share, because just this last little bit that you were talking, it's like there are so many nuggets and secrets to success that are just popping through. And so I just want to highlight them for those who are listening. And I'm sure I'm going to miss at least 100, because it was like basically every word out of your mouth was like, and that is amazing. Because there's really this commitment, like this really deep commitment to your message, your mission, like what it is that you're doing to women and having women be seen. Like, you can just hear it in your voice how deeply committed you are to that. It's how you show up for your clients, like the way that you hold the space for your clients and accepting nothing less than making them have an experience that, feels very empowering and all of that. It's the putting yourself out there, being in, being in community, being in social media, so many angles. And then there's one which we actually touched on in the very beginning when I introduced you, and you shared that there's a lot of resistance to what you do. And I want to talk about that for a second, because there is just like it's like, you have 100,000 plus fans on Facebook. And then also anytime your work gets published, which it's all over the media, anytime it gets published, there's a zillion and one like trolls, and I don't even know if it's trolls, but like hate comments too, or whatever, like people who are so triggered, not just like, like they're so upset about what you're doing. And what you're doing is photographing women of all shapes and sizes
Mm.
in the nude, and mothers and breastfeeding and things that are totally natural. So would you, and so it's your courage, as I guess to circle back around, it's your courage to stand for what you know is
Mm.
important, is a huge secret to your success. And like this, your work has gone so viral. But can we talk about that for a second? Some of the photographs that you take and the particular resistance that tends to flare up.
Mm-hmm. Just this morning, I posted on my Facebook page. I was like, I'm getting kind of tired of being so controversial. Maybe I'm just going to start photographing kittens.
Yes, you will go viral for sure with that too. We love our
Oh,
cats, this society.
I, yes, and then maybe I won't get attacked, but there probably will find a way. But honestly, as a feminist, I am so proud to be a feminist, and I realize the things I love to photograph, I don't even understand that they're controversial. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
even understand that it would push buttons. Because for me, I get so excited. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. It's just
Mm-hmm.
deep in me, it's just like, ugh. And-
By the way, I just have to, sorry, I'm laughing. This is why it's so fun to be photographed by Jade, is like she goes, like the noises that come out of you when you're photographing are like, you can't help but have fun and feel like, oh my God, she sees something so amazing in me. Like, I'm just going to go with it. But anyway, that was just a little glimpse into a Jade noise, but go on.
Makes me crazy. It does. It's like there's definitely this crazy element in me that I'm just like, ah, I can't handle it. So good. Um, but so I don't understand that there's like this huge like, well, no, it's not right. You're promoting obesity by saying it's okay to love your body as it is, and it's this whole idea that we're so trained to see a photoshopped image of women and think that that is perfect and that is the only definition of perfect. That it's really it's revolutionary to think otherwise, and it's like no, wait, no. We have all agreed that this one body type and the photoshopped version of that one body type is the only worthy part that we will call perfect.
Right.
And
You
so
are promoting
it's
stretch
hard.
marks, Jade. How dare you? It's like,
How dare you? We make a lot of money with those tools that erase all that away. And
yeah.
and I get it. And nor do I condemn people who feel the need to change their bodies with plastic surgery or whatever. And that's another controversy. Like, oh, you're saying that I'm a bad person for, like, no. I honor you. I honor you. I just want to celebrate you and your juiciness of all of it
Mm-hmm.
right there. And if you choose to change it, awesome. Let's celebrate that too. But
Mm-hmm.
don't feel shameful once you do it. Let's celebrate all these changes. And our bodies are this masterpiece, and we can do as we please with them. But I hope we do it from a place of like, oh, sweet tenderness, like instead of like, ugh.
Right.
So and I love breastfeeding photos, and I had no idea that was so controversial. And it's just beautiful to me to photograph women breastfeeding, and it's something that even me, who grew up very liberal, I didn't see a whole lot of images of unless it was National Geographic, and that's like
Mm-hmm.
a culture over there, you know?
Right.
It's not my culture, and so that's another controversial thing. And lately, it's I have been posting photos of myself doing extended, what they call extended breastfeeding, my 3-year-old, and oh, that makes people so angry. And it makes me realize there's so many areas of feminism and things that to me, like I said, I didn't even realize were a big deal. And it's like, oh, look, this is still happening.
Right.
And then I realized it is a problem. Like, okay, there's an opportunity for healing here. There's an
Yeah.
opportunity for dialogue. There's an opportunity for us to learn how to express our different opinions with respect.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that piece because, first of all, thank you for being courageous and standing for your work and standing for women, just being able to show up as they are. But how do you handle that when you get so many negative comments? Like, I always wonder that about celebrities too. It's like you eat a sandwich and then you just get judged for what kind of sandwich you ate. It's like, how
How
do you
dare you be human?
Yeah, how dare you be human? So it's like for you, what do you do? How do you protect yourself or take care of yourself amidst all these people being so offended by you just, sharing love?
Yeah, I tell you, it does get me down, but I've gotten so much better at it. And there's a few things that I do. One, I learned not to read the comments on anything but my own posts because my people are we're pretty aligned, and or they know how to have a respectful dialogue about our different opinions.
Hmm.
But anything that's written outside of my own Facebook or Instagram, I don't read because that would just, I'm too sensitive.
Yeah.
Um, and I've also learned that support with women who do similar kind of work is very important. There's this woman in town named Jess Baker, and she's what she calls a fat advocate. And we get together every so often on purpose so that we can listen to each other and be like, oh gosh, I feel you. Like, so
Mm.
that's that community. She understands what I'm going through. I understand what she's going through. And then it's like you can like shed it off. Like, okay, we're good.
Yes, I'm not crazy and I'm not the only one. And that's a really important thing. I'm glad that you brought that up because even for, those listening who are entrepreneurs but not necessarily doing anything controversial, even just being an entrepreneur and going for your dreams, going for doing life a different way than everyone else is doing, and the rest of the world just doesn't get it or doesn't see it's possible, or even you just can't have a conversation about, an opt-in or something because people don't know what that means. So, even just getting together with other entrepreneurs, it's like it's a reminder that yes, this is possible. Yes, I'm on the right track. I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy, or maybe I am, but it's the crazy ones that are like awesome anyway. So, whatever. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Gosh, so much for sharing your story. And I have to say, it was really, really, really hard to pick which photos we could fit in the article because we can only fit so many. And it's like,
Totally.
they're all amazing. What do we do? So we're gonna have to just send everybody to your portfolio and to your books. And do you still have a Kickstarter? Not a Kickstarter campaign, but it was the other one.
Oh, the recent Indiegogo. No,
Is
no,
that
it's
done?
all over. Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool. And what do we have to look forward from that? Is there another book coming out? Is there
That is for this media platform called a Beautiful Body Project, which is my sort of funneling my personal Jade Beall photography into this what I call a Beautiful Body Project, and it's my goal to feature primarily at this point it's going to be only female photographers from around the world who are committed to also not exclusively but also including truthful imagery, non-photoshopped imagery of women and their stories from around the world because I've been reached people from all over the world have reached out to me like I want to be photographed, women in India and Thailand and lots of women in Belgium and Europe and all over Europe and South Africa and places I didn't even realize. I'm like, really, there's body positive problems in India. I didn't know, like these are all, I had no idea. So I hope to gather all these rad photographers and we can feature unphotoshopped, truthful, beautiful imagery to nourish self-esteem. And it's not, again, it's not to say that photoshopped imagery is bad. This is just another avenue to add to what already exists and
that's
to mix them together because one is not good and one is not bad. They're all awesome artistry. It's just we forget that certain things like wrinkles and rolls and different body types and stretch marks, perhaps they're worthy of being made into art.
Mm.
And so that's my goal with the Beautiful Body Project. And that's what I just raised money for is we're still working on the website and to hire people to help me because I'm a one woman team right now and
Mm.
to hire editors and content curators and to search out photographers.
Ugh, that's so
So
awesome.
awesome.
I love it. And I have to share a personal story. When the first time I was photographed by Jade, because I met Jade at a retreat in Dominican Republic. And then I invited Jade to come and photograph the Business Heroine retreat that we had in Mexico. But it was interesting because some of the women said, oh, Jade was obsessed with your hands. She was taking all these pictures of your hands when we were doing some group thing. I was like, what? Because it's so funny because my hands are one of the areas of my body. It sounds so, random hands, but my hands are really one of the areas of my body that I grew up so self-conscious of. And I remember in 6th grade, this kid, David Vargas. David, if you're listening, I do remember your first name and your last name. And I don't know where you live. I can't come get you. But anyway, what he said, he goes, hey, did you know that if your hand is as big as your face, then I don't know, like it means you have cancer or something, like he just said, if your hand's as big as your face, it means whatever. So he because he goes, oh, you have huge hands, and did you know if your hands are as big as your face? So then I put my hand to my face, and then he like smacked my hand into my face, and I got a bloody nose and had to walk all the way across the whole class to the bathroom. It was really embarrassing and awkward. But anyway, I think that was when I really noticed I have these huge hands. And then like this guy I used to work with, like his nickname for me was Big Hands. So that's sad. So anyway, it was really interesting when you were taking photos of my hands, like, oh my God, they're just this like work of art. There's just this organic shapes or whatever. So it's fascinating. There's just something very healing being seen through your lens.
And I'm so drawn to vulnerability, you know, and the first thing I noticed about your hands, you just held them with such delicateness, and there's just like such grace. And there's just like vulnerability. And I didn't know, but the way that you held them was so majestic and royal. I want to say royal. And yeah, I was so drawn to it. I remember that first day, I was like, hey, focus on other people.
These hands, it's so fascinating. That's amazing. I love it. And then I just have to say, totally random, but the other reason I just knew instantly that I love Jade, somehow this came up. I said, I am the #1 fan of New Kids on the Block. And Jade was like, no, I'm the #1. Like, I found my fellow fan of New Kids on the Block. And so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh. And plus, same birthday on the block.
Yes. I'm a Joey Joe. Who is your
Jordan? I was definitely a Joey Joe, but Jordan was pretty. I had a soft spot for Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan was pretty. I didn't like, he always kind of had like a little, like his lip was always wet, and that was distracting. Yes. But I'm sure through your lens, it would be like, show me that lip. Let me take a picture of that lip.
Oh, that just gave me some good ideas.
Yeah. Well, Jade, okay, so tell us, okay, so there's the beautiful Body Project. There's Women of Mothers. Tell us what else we need to know about where we can find your, I mean, we're going to include links in the article, but what else is there to know about your work and what's going on and how the heroines listening can get more of you, how they can be photographed by you? What is the doorway into the world of Jade?
Totally. A beautifulbodyproject.org. Sorry, I'm going for nonprofit status. Is a great way. And then jadebeall.com really. And also Jade Beall Photography on Facebook. But I really want to do more workshops. I want to reach out to more women, and I love this, and what you do, Anne, and empowering our fellow sisters to like, starving artist mentality is a lovely concept, but actually thriving artist mentality is totally doable. And the belief, even just faking it till you make it, and I don't know, I just live to empower my fellow sisters, because when I see them empowered, I get more empowered. It's a total selfish, like, together we rise kind of thing. And so I hope to offer more and more awesome abilities to share anything that I've learned, and to photograph as many women as possible on this planet. And and that's about it.
You're so amazing, Jade. Thank you for gracing the cover of Business Heroine magazine with your...
I'm so honored. I photographed the photo. I don't know which one you're using for the cover, but I made some photos of my son and I with you in mind. I was like, hey, so cool. Let's think about this. How do we want to look?
It was perfect. You'll see. I'll just let it be a surprise for you. But it's beautiful. And thank you so much for joining us. I wish we could just talk for 2 hours and like sing all sorts of New Kids on the Block songs, and we'll just have to do that another time. Next retreat in Mexico. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jade. And thank you, heroines, for listening, and especially you creative heroines out there. I hope that I know that Jade is an inspiration and just a reminder that you can go for it too, and thriving artistry is here, and let's go do this.